Hello, viewer. It's great having you on the show today, and welcome to another edition of Viewpoint. It is an exciting and interactive talk show with the Talkam as EB. On the show, we talk about everything and anything trendy, ranging from entertainment to politics, health, education, lifestyle, power of community, you just name it. All you need to do is sit back, enjoy, and engage in our conversations. My name is Hadiza Galadima, and right here with me in the studio are my amazing co-host Confidence
Hello, Hadiza. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Confidence.
and Rachel.
Hi, Hadiza.
How you doing?
Very well.
All we do on the show is spark meaningful conversations, inspire change within our community as we engage in honest dialogue. And now straight to the business of the day. Let's get started. In the words of John Wooden, failure isn't fatal, but failure to change might be. As usual, we will be discussing some really intriguing topics today. Firstly, we will talk about the proposed strike by the Labour Congress. Also, we will be talking about red flags in relationship. And lastly, we will be talking about having something to fall back on. All this and more after the break.
Experience the acceleration of Oweleketv. Get the latest news from the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry to the pulse-pounding realm of sports. We provide accurate and up-to-date information, exclusive interviews with top political analysts that will leave you craving more. Our team of professionals delivers captivating contents from Nigeria and beyond. Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleketv. Visit our website at www.oweleket.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleketv, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. This is Viewpoint, talk show with the Talkam as EB. Despite President Bola Tinubu's announcement of subsidy removal palliative plan, including a 500 billion naira palliative for manufacturers, small businesses, and farmers, along with promises to raise salaries and procure 3,000 mass transit buses, the organized labor remains resolute in their decision to proceed with the planned nationwide protest on Wednesday. Nigerian Labour Congress President Joe Ajaero emphasized that the protest will take place as scheduled, unaffected by the last-minute attempt by the president to prevent it. So what impact would this proposed strike have on Nigeria's economy and the affected industries? So, what's your take? What is this the way to go forward about it? The Labour Congress had a proposed strike. Because we'll be hearing a whole lot of billions flying around. In dispensation.
Flying around.
Yes, in dispensations.
Rachel.
Well, we keep having strikes and keep having strikes. ASU strike, come and go. That strike, come and go. Doctors strike. It keeps coming. They keep going back and forth with this whole thing. It's like a normal thing. I know it's your right. This is like a strategy. You go on strike so that the government will answer you. But is it this Nigeria government that will come and answer you because you want to go on strike? I feel like they want to achieve something. They are fighting for something. They don't want the subsidy thing or the effect it's having on Nigerians, the impact the subsidy is having on Nigerians. But again, going on strike is like, adding up to the problems we already have. Because the truth is that Nigeria government, it's still the same drama they will still act. They've been going on strike before. They've been threatening and whatever. If the government responded and said that going on strike is illegal.
And all those
right?
people have been going on strike. They've never met the demands in full time.
Later again, they'll say they had 1 or 2 meetings and so, okay, let's come back. That's like the normal thing. That's like normal procedure. Personally, I feel like every section or I don't know how to put it right now, but I feel like the whole Nigeria we're compromised. See, everybody be it private organizations, be it labor, be it whatever. I feel like there's a part of them that is working with. I feel like tomorrow they will still call them and they will still sort
Negotiate.
them. Yes, they will sort them, even if they don't bring it to the camera, even if they don't come and say, okay, federal government. I feel like there are some people in that labor that will still meet government, that will still give them, oh yeah, I'm gonna go cancel una strike, and they will cancel it, and then they'll come and tell us, we've discussed with government, and they say they'll do something about it. It's like the usual drama. So I don't see the strike. If you want to go on strike, yes, you can go on strike, but I don't see the strike doing anything. Look, in some other countries, when people go on strike, once they say strike like this, or people go out to protest, you will see that in that country, it's like a big deal to them. But here, strike, protest, and all these things, it's like child's play to us. When people go, you see the video, they will talk, they'll put it on the news, and that is it. The government will not do anything. I feel like, okay, go on strike if you want to go on strike, but it's still the same old story we're going to hear.
Nothing will change.
Nothing will change.
Okay, so the NLC they've been planning the strike for a while. Especially ever since the subsidy thing, the news about the subsidy started, it was removed. I feel like they want to do this. They want to go on the strike to let their voices be heard. But like Rachel said, it's not the first time they are going on strike. And but there's this thing. If you notice, it's like the government is trying to, would I say, not force their hands. Coming out to tell them is illegal, and then Falana is saying it's not illegal.
Not, yeah.
Anybody who wants to go on strike can go on strike as long as you're not destroying properties, as long as you're not committing crime. It's okay to protest that, okay, we don't like this, do it like this, do it like this. If you look at what has been happening, the government has been, would I call it, impeding them from going on the strike, telling them, no, people cannot go on strike, is this, is that, is that. I feel like they feel it's their last resort, because if we've tried to dialogue with you guys and it's not working, probably when the labor when they shut down, when some people are not going to the offices, businesses that are supposed to be providing products and services are no longer providing products and services to people, everything is just there at a standstill. Probably then the government will hear. But then again, while it seems like it's an effective, because strike action is not just in Nigeria, it's just that in Nigeria our own thing is pronounced, it's always overboard. Strike action is a thing in every country. Every country out there, sometimes when things are not going well, some organizations embark on strike action. But it's different because their government would listen. Or their government would, bring them together. Let's dialogue. What is the problem? But the issue now on ground is, if labor goes on strike, what would be the outcome? It's not that going on strike, it's not the way to go. Nobody is saying they shouldn't go on strike. I mean, it's touching all of us. Do you understand? The minimum wage is not increasing, yet everything is increasing, and the minimum wage is just there. So while I agree with protesting, the question that we should be asking ourselves is, if they protest, what will change? What will the government do? Will they listen? Will they want to? Because they've dialogued before, and it's like they didn't reach any compromise. So if they are allowed to do this protest, which they are planning, and trust me, if NLC goes on strike, it's not going to be funny for anybody. Trust me, it will not be funny for anybody. Exactly. So the question now is, will the government listen? Would they give a listening ear? Would they look into what they are trying to present to them? That's the question.
Do you know something else I'm seeing from this whole thing? The reason why I think the government, they don't care about whether you go on strike or you don't go on strike. They don't even care about civil servant or workers, or you're working. They don't care, because they know what they are doing in that government. We had Tinubu, our president, when was that? Yesterday he did
he addressed the nation.
We heard everything was said, 500 billion, this billion, that billion.
Honestly,
this is just a way of
billion.
siphoning money. This is a way of putting money in their own pocket. And so it doesn't concern them if you like go on strike, if you like don't go on strike.
And it's so sad because you can't do anything about it.
There's nothing.
It's
So,
sad.
It's not affecting them.
We just sit down every day, we're hearing billion, million.
That's
See,
like
if
these buses flying around.
if these people in government, if what their take back home is what they are relying on, if their salary, okay, I don't work, I don't collect my salary, this is what I am gaining, it will affect them. But because what is the salary? They are not, salary is not their thing. It is they know what they are feeding on. They know what
The
they
national
are feasting on. And so they don't understand these pains. When they come out to say, I understand how you people are, they don't understand anything. And so whether strike or not, that's just my own. It's good to go on strike. It is your right. It is a normal thing to do
that
in a
was what
same
Falana
country.
said, yeah.
Only
It
if
is
it's
a normal
going to yield
thing.
results.
But if you go on strike, what will
will
change?
That's the exact question. What will happen?
Well, you just heard from us, dear viewers. We would definitely like to hear from you too, as always. So do get involved in our comment section. We would love to hear from you. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Moving on to our next topic, we will be discussing red flags in relationship. So in any relationship, it is essential to be aware of warning signs that might indicate potential problems or challenges. These signs, often referred to as red flags, they serve as indicators of unhealthy dynamics or behavior that can negatively impact the relationship's well-being. Identifying these signs early can help individuals make informed decisions about their partnership and take necessary actions to protect their emotional and mental well-being. What are the potential consequences of ignoring red flags in relationship? Confidence, I want you to go first.
It will be catastrophic. It will be catastrophic. There will be premium tears. You will cry a river. You will have broken hearts. You will not be able to sleep. So, on a more serious note, it's a big issue. Because off the camera, I was telling, I don't know whether it was Rachel or Hadis, I said, thing with people ignoring some of these indicators is, some of them see it because, let's be honest, you hear things like, oh, I didn't know that that's the kind of girl he is, she is. I didn't know that. It's a lie. You knew.
Yeah.
These signs will always be there because, we human beings, the way God created us, we're just wonderful. You will know. So some people will see that this thing is not aligning with your behavior, and probably they've not talked about it, or you've talked about it and there's no change. And instead of you to take a walk, you're still there telling yourself that you have already changed. They will change. Your friends will be telling you,
I'm praying for
him. This person, I've had a lot of cases. She came to me, she was like, oh, he's smoking, but I like him. I said, he's smoking now, you cannot take smoking. Why don't you watch? She said, no, I will change you. Then, she came back one of those days and she was like, oh, he almost raped me. I said, but I told you. But did I not warn you? She said she didn't even know. So some of these people see some of the signs, gaslighting, emotional blackmail,
instability.
A lot of them, narcissism, they see it play out. He's too domineering. The love goes from love to obsession. He's a stalker. Exactly. Egomaniac, alpha male. You're seeing the signs and then you decide to stay there. You use the red flags to sow ashwebi. You say, you use the red flag to sow boo-boo. You say nothing.
There are those kind of people that when they have issues and then you come in between, when they settle the issue,
they will use
they'll say that monkey that was trying to separate us.
So on the one serious, it's a serious issue. I feel like people, and it's not just in relationships. It's also in friendships, especially when you know that your values are. Everybody will not be like you, but there are some basics. If your values are aligned, and you know that you people agree, you come to a particular ground, you reach a compromise, then it's okay to be friends. But when you see that something is happening over and over, like you have a friend, the person snitches, you tell this person something, and then you go out the next day and you hear from somebody you don't know, and you know within yourself that you've not told any other person, and it's this person, and it keeps going on, and you don't tell yourself, sit down and tell yourself, this friendship I'm doing with this person, I'm involved with this person, is going to wreck me. It doesn't even have to be snitching, but there might be something going on that you're not comfortable with, and you know that it's causing issues. And maybe some people, I feel like it's fear. They say, if I leave now, what will people say? My sister, leave, because it is your peace and your sanity that comes first. If that relationship finally graduates into marriage, or the friendship goes, there's a level something will get to, and trying to break off will be a problem. So once you start to see, you start to see the signs early, once you know that this is a red flag, because red flag is relative. Some people will tell you that this is a red flag for me, and somebody else will tell you it's not a red flag to me. One man's food is another man's poison, but they are just some basics. They are just some things that you know that they are non-negotiable. So when you see it, run.
Okay, so I feel like there are so many reasons why people ignore red flags.
Red flags.
Red flags, rather.
Mhm.
Different reasons. Like confidence, and someone will tell you, I will change him, I will change her, I can change them.
We already changed.
And some people are pretenders of the century.
Mhm.
Like, some people will so pretend to you, you will not know anything about this
It's
person.
to tell God.
For you to be able to know some certain
Get
things
delivered.
about this person.
Yeah.
Some other people, they are so much in love. Like I said, they're so much in love, and maybe, for instance, a fight breaks out between two people who are in love,
Mhm.
and then you now went to tell your friend, I see what this person did to me. I'm trying to advise the person, okay, see, I think you should just at least separate, just be on your own for a while, let him come and beg you another thing, and okay, then now settle. And the next thing you will hear, you will see two of them walking together, and the next thing you hear is the guy telling the girl, that your friend that tried to separate us the other time.
Mhm.
No,
I don't want you
and
guys
see,
to
there are
do that.
ladies that will even block you. They will block you because you try to. They'll say you're trying to separate them. There are so many reasons why
Manipulation is
people
coming into play.
people just ignore these things. And see, there are so many women that their husbands are beating them right now. This thing does not just, it's not just on relationship or marriage. It's cuts across everywhere. Yeah, but let me just like talk about relationship, because it's more in the relationship aspect. Now, you see women, most of these women that their husbands are beating them now, or vice versa. It started from when they were dating, when they were courting and all of that. A man will slap a woman, and then the next day she'll be like, he was angry. He was just. She'll say, you hear things like, he was angry. I know who he is. I know he cannot do it. I know he was just angry. Another day he hits you again. You say, Nami Kosam. I did not listen. I Nami make the mistake. I take the fault. And then you get married and he beats you. And then what do you have to say about that?
He will love you to death.
Do you understand? So I think that this thing is just, these people know them.
Yeah.
They know these things. They see them.
Definitely.
But for some reasons, you don't want to tell yourself the truth.
What will people say?
What will people say?
Killed, what will people
You're seeing this
keep
thing.
to their
You're
every
seeing
grave?
it. It's so clear. People are seeing it. You have eyes. You have feelings. You feel these things. You know, every time you can't use your phone. He's always, he wants to know what you're doing with your phone. He wants to know everything. He wants to know who you're chatting with. He wants to know what you're doing at this time.
You can't
wants
have
to
a
know where
life
you are.
outside.
You know all these things. But then again, because you're so much in love, and then when you now get married, you now be like, if say I know, or I don't know what
Some
they'll
of them
start
don't
saying
even
then.
have the chance to actually do a U-turn, because some people actually run.
Yeah.
Like when I say run, they disappear, because some of these men, hey, my goodness gracious, some of these men, they have to disappear. But some people don't even get the chance to even run or to even disappear. They die. Like we've had cases.
Yes.
I mean, we've talked about it one of those days. We have cases, and all these things start from when you started to see the signs. You started to see the signs when you know that you could have withdrawn. From that time, he was toasting you that you went to see him.
The thing is, something you cannot take, something you cannot absorb. Look, marriage is a forever thing.
Honestly.
Do you know why I'm concentrating on marriage? It's because it's like a forever contract. Friendship, you can, if me and you were friends and you mess up, I can just cut off and that is it. But you see, marriage is like a forever thing. And now you're seeing all these red flags, but for one or two reasons you want to go into it.
You think it will deplete in the
you
marriage?
Cannot see, if you cannot change someone when you were courting, you want to go and change him when you're married. You cannot run away from something. You think it's when you're married you want to not run away from it. No.
And you know what you tolerate in your time of dating?
You should be ready to,
trust me. If it was 100, by the time you get married,
200. Yes, to double. That's it.
Except the person just wants to, because you can't change an adult. A person who wants to change will change, not because of you, but because he knows that he has come to the realization that this thing is not good.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
Well, we would love to hear your view as regards red flags in relationship or other aspects of life. If you have, if you can relate to this, do get involved in our comment section. We would love to hear from you. All right, let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Moving on to our last topic for today, we will be talking about having something to fall back on that's in life. So life can be unpredictable. We never know what the future holds, and unexpected events can happen that can change our plans and lives in an instant. So what do we mean by a fallback plan? It refers to having a safety net, a backup plan, or an alternative option in one's primary plan or goal that does not work out as expected. It is a concept rooted in preparedness and risk management. Providing a safety net can cushion the impact of potential failures or setbacks. A fallback plan can help us bounce back faster from setbacks and difficulties by giving us a sense of purpose and direction when we need to pivot or adapt to changing circumstances. So now I want to ask this question like on a personal note. Yeah. So what would be your fallback plan in life if your current goal, right, or aspiration does not work out as planned? What would be your fallback plan?
Why is you looking at me like that?
we really carry to a whole lot of things.
Oh
like
my
this.
goodness.
So
Okay,
we want
so,
you to go first.
Okay, first of all,
Yeah.
I'll just say it's very important to have a backup plan. You know, life, nobody expects or nobody plans for life to happen to them. But life can happen. And when I say life can happen, I'm not talking about
life
death.
will happen.
Yes, definitely. I'm not talking about death.
Yeah.
There are so many other things. I'm not even talking about accidents at this point now, because things can happen to a person. Maybe what you hoped to achieve, your
Like
career,
losing
certain
a job.
ambitions, you know, you didn't get it. But it's very important to have a plan B.
Yeah.
You know, talk to people, ask questions. What can you invest in? You know, what are the things that you can put, even if it's that little money you have, into, you know, even if you can't, would I say, maybe get into a very big business scheme, there should be something little that you need to, you know, like a plan B, so that when things go left, you know, you can easily go back to that plan B. Okay, take for example, let me start from the littlest of all, like Kolo. This, you know, savings. People, you know, sometimes people feel like that thing is not effective, but you know, it takes a lot of discipline. I've seen different cases where people save up,
hundreds of thousands.
you know, and the day they break, I've seen it on Instagram, and I felt like it's a story. The person tells you that they've saved up to almost 2 million, and you're wondering, when did you start? You know, when they start, it seems it's difficult, but you will not even know. A day will come when you need that money, and you won't even know that, okay, like I've been saving and it has gotten up to this amount. So it's really important. As little as that can actually help. There are people that, you know, there are times when you will need to do stuff and probably you've looked around, there's nobody to help you, and you'll be shocked that it's that small colo that you have in your room that you've hidden somewhere, where that you've been dropping that money consistently, you know, on daily basis with little things you're doing, and you find out that you've saved up enough. What other things? Real estate, you know, there are different. Some people will tell levels. Oh no, you need very, very huge amount of money before you enter into. The truth is, if you do your research, you ask well, you can start small. You get, yes, there are risks in this thing, but it's always good, no matter how little. Plan B is important. You know, we have a lot of our parents, elders who have worked, you know, in government. These people have been working. They've gotten to different levels, and then when it's time for them to retire, you know, retire from civil services, like there's nothing to. And you're wondering. I've had a lot of stories, and I'm asking myself. I said, God, what will happen when it gets to my turn? And, you know, something happens and there's nothing to fall back on. It's a really sad story. When you hear the exploits that one person has done at a particular seat of power, and then you look back and there's nothing. No house. You didn't build any business. Like,
no any retirement plan.
Nothing, no retirement, nothing. It's really bad. And I think as young people, you know, it's never too late. We're never too young. There are people, you know, there are young people who are, you know, who've gotten married, who have made it, and they don't have children yet, though, but they're setting up bank accounts for children that they have not seen. It tells you that, you know, that knowledge goes a long way to actually help us, because anything can happen at any time. You could have emergency that you want to sort out, or let's even leave emergency. You might want to go on vacation, you know, and it's still from that plan B, that thing you have to fall back on, that you get stuff from. So I think it's a very important issue. It's a very important topic that we actually need to take seriously.
This is a very strong topic because, you know, when I see retirees go to government offices, go to what do they call pensions office, and you see them seated on the floor outside holding placards and crying for their money. And they tell you these people were government workers. Then you start wondering, you were working. So what happened? I feel like the two like best fallback plans you can have. One is have a skill.
Yeah.
Two is investment. With having a skill, you can never go wrong. See, even if you're a director today, even if you're the CBN governor today, but you can, maybe for instance, you know how to sew. You're a fashion designer, but you're the CBN governor. Look, even if they collect everything you have, they collect all your money, they collect everything. They can't collect your skill from you.
True.
I think having a skill is something that youth of today overlook. They feel like white collar jobs, office, laptop, do the bang thing. They don't. You see, look, let me tell you the truth. The truth is, these people that you see, they are dirty and they are working. They are sewing shoes. They tell you the money that they are gathering or they've gathered. I think another thing, we've talked about investment. I think another thing that the mistakes people make. You're a government worker, you're a private worker, some people are earning huge, but then they're not thinking about what happens. What they are thinking of, the thing is, I want to go build house for village. I don't build my house for town. Fine house. I don't buy my car. My family are feeding well. My children are okay. They're going to the best school. That's it. They're not thinking of. And then when something happens, I'm saying this because I've had personal experiences. I had people who were like this. Had a house, had cars. Look, the thing is, this house, God forbid, that house you're living in, something can happen. There are people that they were sleeping in the house and one heavy rain or thunderstorm and the house will just fall. House, I don't think having a house should be your like major investment. Say, I get house. No, you have a house, you have a car. Look, the cars of 10 years ago, you cannot bring it out now. They're already old, still vintage. So you have cars. If you have 10 cars now, the only benefit is that you can sell these cars. But what if stipulated? Yes, exactly. Because see, even cars of 5 years ago now, the way life is evolving, new things are coming out every day. So I think people don't think about this. The only thing is I'm comfortable.
People are living in the now.
Yeah, they're living in the now. I'm comfortable. My children are fine. We know they're hungry. We chop food. I take care of my wife. My wife get car. Me, I get car.
They wear better clothes.
And they wear better clothes. If you go deep, that person doesn't have any other thing apart from that. I think they go to church on Sunday. They're living this beautiful life, and that's just it. No skill, no nothing. If they collect that job from you, you cannot go and say, I want to start this business. You can't think of, you can't say, see what I feel do. You can't say, I feel bake this thing. You can't say, I feel create this thing with my hand. You can't think, some people cannot think of anything. And the funny thing is, with the way we have technology now, anything people need, you go online, you get it. You go online. People no longer think. People no longer create things. People are no longer innovative. People are no longer creative because technology is everywhere. Everything is. So the thing is, one day reality will dawn on you and you see that all these things you've gathered, they are just air. And when the thing disappears, you realize that nothing in my hand.
That's why in most cases, when people fall like that, you see they just crumble.
The funny thing about that falling is once they hit the ground, it is hard. They hit it and usually the person enters into that state of depression and is like, God, what is going on? So I think it's very important. Like Rachel said, investing in yourself is one of the biggest type of investment you can do for yourself because that skill, whatever happens tomorrow, you might even be learning something that might not benefit you today, but at some point in your life it will come through for you. So it's very important.
Well, all we're just trying to say is we should all think about what we want to fall back on in case of unexpected events. It is never too late to start building that safety net or developing a skill, like we said on the show, that can open up new doors in your life. By having something to fall back on, we can all face challenges of life with more confidence, resilience, and optimism. All right, that is it on the show today. You already know this is Viewpoints Talk Show with the Talkam as EB. We really do appreciate you and your time greatly. Let's do this again, same place, same time. We would love to hear from you. So be a part of our community by dropping your opinions in our comment section, and don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles displayed on your screen for more amazing and captivating episodes of Viewpoint. Also, to subscribe and turn on the little notification bell on our YouTube channel at Oweleketv. Our website is oweleketv.com. Oweleketv. So we'll come your way again. See you next time.